Hello everyone, welcome to day 125 of my road to $100,000 a month in e-commerce. It's been a while. I recorded 123 a few days ago, of course, but it went for 26 minutes and I haven't come back to do another video since. And I've also thought it's just far too long, doesn't need to be that long. So I'll just give a brief update from my decision making since, I can't even remember, it was into the hundreds, maybe it was day 100, no it was earlier than that, but I'm pretty sure I didn't make another video. I haven't made one this year, maybe, I'll have to double check, but yeah, so first of all, believe I've mentioned in the last video that I ran out of money, and for me to pay off my credit card and pay BBA, which I'll get to that in a second, and just survive January, I wasn't going to be able to afford tests and also get all those payments through. So it's been a bit of a stalemate. I've gotten onto Nick Theriot and have just gone through some of his YouTube videos, gotten a bit more of an understanding and leveling up my theory on marketing and how I can go about building out a structure for Facebook ads and testing it and being very direct and specific with each product test, having more intent. And that's what I've also done over the last 2 days. I've gone back through BBA and looked at some of the more advanced specific modules they have, like they have one on video editing, and it comes from an agency that is just, that's all they do, is video editing. And so it's interesting to see how they put clips together, how they organize their assets, how they think about being efficient, even considering their own internal team that has, say, production that they've got to do ahead of time and what clips they're looking for, or if they're getting raw clips, how are they like breaking those down into modular clips, and then the naming conventions they might be using just so they can make things more efficiently when they're doing the rest of their ads in the future. So it's been interesting. I'm glad I went through that. It was something a bit more advanced, but it brings me to my next point, which is why I've gone over it. I'm deciding to leave BBA. I think that it's worked a lot for other people, but I haven't gotten enough out of it with the schedule that I've employed over the last couple of months, over the last 6 months, 7 months, yeah, not a joke. For the last 7 months, that I can't justify continuing to spend $1,500 a month on this. And I think for a while it got me thinking that, well, you know, I just pay it off and then I have this for life. Like, I'll have this community for life, I'll have access to Mark for life, I'll have access to the other coaches for life. But truth be told, where I currently am, my current circumstances, with current schedule, current financing, current sacrifices I'm willing to make, BBA isn't for me. And that's a decision I should have made months ago. But, and you know, I would have saved myself a lot of money, but I've also learned a few lessons along the way. So it's hard to say, like, is this worth it? Is this not? Do I get ROAS on it? Which, off topic, but brings me to a point that Davey Fogarty spoke about in a podcast I listened to a couple of years ago. He met up with Luke Belmer, and Luke Belmer changed his mindset on thinking like most ecom entrepreneurs do terms of ROAS. So like, how much money can I make from meeting this guy or going out to this dinner or in getting this employee in? And sometimes you just have to invest in those opportunities where it could be quite uncertain whether or not you're getting a good return. But I suppose you're more speaking towards relationship building. But for me, I'm glad that I invested in it, but it's coming to a real crunch point where my next several months of product tests are going to be quite limited because I'm just going to run out of money continuously. And so it'll get till April or May and above, and I'll just finally be able to get some like financial backing for potential products that are doing really well, which isn't where you want to be, of course. So, I thought it was possible in the past, but it just isn't. I need more financial backing. It also allows me to spend the money I was going to spend in January on BBA. I can spend that on a new laptop, which I desperately need. I think currently any purchases that go towards my setup, not specifically actually my setup, but getting me here more, at my desk more, and enjoying work more, is something that is a worthy investment. And that being able to work at a rate that I think I can. Like I enjoy moving fast with this kind of stuff. I mean, that's why it's half the reason why you have technology and you do things, not half the reason, but it's one of my personal favorites of working online is that I can just move so quickly and I can just try shit and break shit and see what works. And especially when it comes to video editing or doing anything with AI or Shopify pages or any landing pages for that matter on any of the applications that I've used, this thing's just a killer. Like, it sucks. It's very slow. For anyone who hasn't seen previous videos, it's a MacBook Air from 2017. So steadily approaching 10 years. It's time to get a new one. And what a better month to do it than in the 1 month that I haven't run a test for any products and didn't plan on doing so I don't have anything on the go that I'm ready to run. Like, I only decided I wasn't going to pay BBA in the last couple of days, sorry. Another thing I do need to check with BBA is whether or not if I'll tell them up front that I don't have the money to pay for it. But then when I pay for it, let's say in a couple of months' time, couple of weeks' time, can I get back into the course and just, pay the rest off? If they say yes, then it's all the more reason for me to do it. If they say no, and I've got to pay for the full thing again, then it's a bit like, ooh, okay, I'm still going to do it, but I'm going to be on my own, and it's just a risk I've just got to have to own. And yeah, a decision I've just got to have to own, because the worst result is that I just work harder, and I've got to do that anyway. So yeah, that's really the updates for me. All condensed in less than 26 minutes, so I'm doing better. I think, another thing that I mentioned in the last video that I didn't mention here is that personally I just went through a breakup, so I think it's given me a lot more focus in who I want to be as a person, what kind of entrepreneur I want to be, who do I admire, who do I see myself, because it's easy for me to write, you guys can't see it, but on this whiteboard in front of me I have Iman Ghazi, Mark Builds Brands, and Alex Hormozy, and that's great. You can admire them, you can take their achievements and think, that's so cool, I'd like to do the same. But for the lifestyle they live, for the upbringings they had, for the people they are deep down, for what they value. They're completely different people, and they're completely different to me. They're all entrepreneurs and they want to achieve high things. But I've got to realise that I am on my own journey and I've got to figure it out. And I don't think it happens when you're trying to consider where you're going to be in 10 years' time. I think it more so happens in looking at the micro, looking at, did I have a good day today? Did I push myself today? Did I enjoy the work I did today? Did I feel fulfilled? And looking at that every day, I think you slowly, because when you don't know 100% who you are, 100% who you admire, 100% where you want to go, and you're kind of figuring this out, that direction on where those 10 years, 12 years are going to be changes every day with every action. And so if I can focus just 6 months, let's say, hypothetically, 6 months, that's all I focus on. I don't think about 10, 12 years ahead. I just focus 6 months. And it's just micro, trying to enjoy what I do, trying to improve every day. Then I look up after 6 months and I think, wow, okay, here's where I want to go, or here's where I'm heading and I'm really liking it. And that's what I believe I need to do. But I can take other people as examples. I've been subscribing to a few different dropshippers on YouTube who post vlogs every day, 200, 300 days plus. And just short, sharp clips, 2 minutes, 3 minutes in length. And I thought, is that something that I kind of want to do? Do I want to be a dropshipper? Do I want to get to a point where I'm like them and I've achieved what I've set out to achieve? But is it a worthy sacrifice for that kind of lifestyle? Because I am completely different to who they are. So I don't know, but we're gonna still try our best, unless I get hit with some massive realization and that I don't want to continue on this journey. But I don't know, I think everyone has a lot of moments of, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Is this going to work out? Do I want to do something else? And maybe eventually, 6 months' time, a year's time, I want to pivot onto something else, and that's fine. But for now, I know that I can't figure that out just yet without doing anything or achieving the thing I've set out to do. And I haven't achieved the thing I've set out to do. So there's only really one option, and that's go out there and achieve the thing I was set out to do, and that is $100,000 per month in e-commerce. The other thing about BBA is maybe BBA isn't for me. Maybe the way they go about it isn't for me. Maybe I need to look at other kind of mentorship or another kind of, I don't know, but I do know that I'm going to use all the resources in the past that I've paid for and I still have access to, like Cash Club, started them March last year. And I'm going to try and combine the two and figure out, or just, use what you have available. And I have both of those available. So we're just going to get cracking. And I'm also trying to figure out, how can I keep myself busy and building skills and learning until I go to launch a product, which I'm planning to 1st of Feb. So I've looked at my month and gone, yeah, 1st of Feb, we'll do that, plan accordingly. And I figured I can do copywriting. I can do product research. I can watch more YouTube videos. I can wait there on the refresh button every 5 seconds on YouTube, waiting for Mark's new video for me to jot down all the notes from it. Or I can look at what I need to do and how many reps it would need to take, and then where are the opportunities to build those skills to be more efficient and achieve more. And think to myself, let's do that every single morning. Let's block that out. Let's wake up at 7:30 every morning, regardless of what time I went to bed. And let's block in 3-4 hours and do that task. Because I could do all the copywriting things that Nick Ferriot set out his challenge to do, but that doesn't directly apply to me. I could just do product research and audience research on one product. Ooh, yippee. That'll be fun. Putting everything, all my balls in one basket. Eggs, sorry. Instead, every day I could look at finding a new product, researching the market, building out copy assets for it, on new angles, and using that 4 hours to just see how much I can get done. Seeing if I can get a plan for a test ready every day for a single product, different products. I've also thought on my walk today, because I like to walk if I'm not working. Also thought, because if anyone who's watched previous videos, they know that I haven't really opened up on it, but I've mentioned that I've struggled with sleep and finding optimal sleep for my health conditions, as well as being optimally energized for work and in a good state of mind to work. And I think currently I don't have that luxury. And I think I've toyed with the idea that I do or I don't, and it's such a big game changer. But it isn't really. I just think I'm somewhere in the realm of I don't have that luxury. And I haven't been rocking up as much as I should. And I'm not prioritizing the time that I should. I'm not creating a routine for myself. And so if I just set an alarm for 7 o'clock every single morning, regardless of what time I finish work at the bar or go to sleep here, but if I wake up, I have breakfast, and then I get stuck into work for 3-4 hours, then I get on with the rest of my day. That 3-4 could, however many hours, could be more than that in the future. That is so much more important than I'm here and I just rock up and I try to do something, or I do something extremely well. But the fact that I push myself to be here, set a routine, and just show up and block off that time to do this activity, that is more important than getting optimized sleep, tweaking the schedule every single day, every single morning, second guessing myself when I wake up, thinking, how good do I feel? How tired do I feel? Can I argue that I could get more sleep? Because most of the time when you're in that state, you just think yes. At least that's been my experience. Snooze the alarm, back to sleep, wake up, holy shit, it's 10 o'clock. I better get ready to go for work. Or 10 o'clock, shit. Oh well, it'll just be a slow morning, then I'll get into work. Then I've only done 2 hours of work for the day with other things that I might have done. So it's just where we're at. They're the updates, really. Well, there's nothing else so far. Focus on building your skills. I know the biggest skill is me finding a product, finding angles for it, finding the right market, and then testing that idea and trying to scale that product, that brand. And so if I can do that quickly with a plan, with structure, if I, in an ideal world, for what I'm pursuing, I should be able to go through like a list of products or a list of ads and go, no, yep. There's a potential in that. No, yeah, potential. All right, let's condense some research. I'm going to run with this angle. I know it's going to be profitable. I know these are the ads I can go for. This is awareness I can go for. This is sophistication I can go for. Let's throw it out. Winning ad, bang, told you so. Or profitable or break even, cool. All right, let's tweak this, tweak that. Let's go down these different sides. Let's enhance this avatar more. We'll test this other avatar on the side. And just scale a product, scale a brand. That's just how I need to be doing it. And then I'll get into a career of helping other people out. Whether I do so, I don't want to be like a dropshipper guru. I think I don't know. We'll see. Probably not though. I don't think I'd suit it. Something in marketing would be cool. I definitely want to be involved in like a B2C market. But anyway, it's for many months / years down the line. Anywho, I'm off to bed. Throat's starting to scratch up a bit as well, so hopefully I'm not sick. That'd be a bit of a bummer. But yeah, anyway, adios. 21 minutes, under 25, so it's a win. Good little update, and see you guys in the next couple of days. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Adios.